It's Big Board Sports with Roger Wyland on 104.5 The Team.
It is the fifth annual of the basketball tournament, $2 million winner-take-all. E.J. Gallup on that team from Gloversville, who can still flat-out shoot it. And E.J., I just got a text from one of our listeners who said we should mention that in this tournament, potential second-round matchups for Boeheim's Army would be Saints Alive, the 8th seed in that bracket, Ronald Moore, a guy you played with the Patroons, Edwin Ubilis, Ryan Rossiter, Kenny Hasbrook, Javion Oganyemi, Marquise Wright, and O.D. Anasicki. That's a pretty good group right there.
That's a good squad, yeah. I mean, I saw Edwin up close and personal this year. He's a complete animal. Mid-range, he's a one-on-one nightmare. That would definitely be a game that I'd be tuning into. It would be the Siena-Syracuse matchup. You know, like I said, like those guys have played together. They know each other. They know each other's game, both of those teams. So I think that would be a great game to see. So, yeah, I'm happy for those guys that they're in, and I'm glad they're in the East and we're in the Midwest.
Yeah, exactly. And before I get into the Patroons, Chris, you want to get into this wacky ending situation here of how this would work. And now, I guess last year was just for a playoff game.
So we did this a little bit on the radio last year. In the play-in games for the basketball tournament, they implemented the Elam ending, which was devised and thought up by a mathematician. Okay, and he has, basically what's going to happen is that the first dead ball inside 4 minutes. So, EJ, let's say it's your team versus my team. You're leading 85-75, okay, at 3:55 left in the game. Yep. What the officials are going to do is they're going to add 7 points to your total, and now we're just going to play to 92. So it's 85-75, you guys.
Right.
Dead ball, out of bounds, inside 4 minutes to play. We turn off the clock. No clock, and we're just going to play the first one to get to 92. That way, what it does is eliminates the end game fouling. Right. I'm not going to foul EJ's team to give them more points. I just have to get stops and try to get to 92.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're just talking about that a little bit. I think it depends on which side of the ball you're on. I mean, if you're on a team and they're adding 7 points, you're loving it. And
right.
if you're not, and you're
hating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's a 1 point, make it closer. Like if it's 71-70, if it's a 1 point game, and now we're only playing to 78.
Right.
I mean, it's a tie game, and okay, let's see who can get the first 7 points.
Yeah. I mean, we got enough stuff going through our head at the end of the game. I mean, now we got to add this, but I understand it. I mean, for all these games that you see just fouling, and the game just lasts another 45 minutes because of foul shots. But for every 10 games that we do see that, like 2 of those games, some teams are going to miss some free throws and someone's going to come back. Right. So I understand it. I think it's pretty cool. We'll just have to get a little more familiar with it. But like I said, I think as long as we're in the lead, I don't think we're ever going to complain about it. And we'll see what happens.
Derek Rowland, who's a good friend of ours, desperately tried. And I don't even know if desperate the right word, but he tried. He did everything he could do to try to bring back the Patroons. You were on that team this year. What was the experience like? What do you think of the future, perhaps, of this Albany Patroons, which is still up in the air?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Coach Rowland's a great guy. I've known him for a long time. He's a good basketball guy. He's a great guy, first and foremost. He put a lot of time into it. There's a lot of guys in the front office that put a lot of time and effort into it. Anytime you're starting a team back up in a city and then also in a new league, it's a lot of work. And minor league basketball or semi-pro or whatever you want to call it is tough because in these cities that you're playing in, there's also there's Division I schools. In Albany, there's 2 of them. So there's basketball fans that are going to those games. And then we ran into the spring. In the springtime, people want to get outside. They want to start hitting the golf balls, and they don't really want to be in a gym when the weather starts getting nice. So there's a lot of obstacles, and then which had nothing to do with the Patroons or Coach Rowland or any of Patroons' decision, but the cost to fly over across the country a couple of times for a team is astronomical, and you got to put so many people in the stands just to pay those costs. So it's tough. It's definitely by no lack of any effort on anyone in the Patroons organization. I don't know. I haven't spoken to anyone since the end of the year about where they're going to go next year or what the direction is. I wish Coach Rowland nothing but the best, and there's a lot of good people that put in a lot of hard work with the Patroons, and if you look, the product on the floor, as far as the talent level on the floor, in that league this year was crazy. I mean, I was honestly surprised by the talent level and the names in the league, being the first year in the league. The talent level and the product on the floor was amazing. It's just the other things that take a while sometimes too long to come along and make all the ends meet. So.
Well, to bring it back to its glory days, it was a tall order.
Yeah.
Were there nights at the Washington Avenue Armory where there was a decent crowd in there, and it felt pretty good, like on a weekend when maybe you were close to 1,000 or a little bit over 1,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, I came on and talked to you guys. For me as a local kid, and I remember the first weekend I was playing in the Armory, and we had a decent crowd, and I was like, man, this is great, man. This is what I remember hearing about. I mean, there's a special feel in that building for sure as a basketball player. But there's nights like that, and then there's nights on the road where, well, for us, the Armory is a nice venue because, you don't have to have 10,000 people to make it feel, live. We were going on the road and playing in like 5 to 10,000 seat arenas, and it feels like there's 12 people in there. So for us in the league, our venue was perfect. I mean, obviously there are some obstacles with the Armory as far as parking and that stuff goes, but playing in the Armory in front of, some good basketball fans in the Capital District was definitely fun. And
I think if you were to ask Derek Rowland right now, I think his goal is to bring this team back in some form or fashion and try to not leave this go. He still feels like he can make it work, but the money becomes a factor, the financial backing, the sponsorships, how much you can promote this, and then again, how many fans. I think Derek sat in the studio and thought, boy, if we could get over 2,000 per game average, that would be great. I don't think that happened. Yeah. I think the weekends they got maybe close to 1,000. I think during the week is probably more like in the 300 to 400 range.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is just playing with the numbers. I mean, if they could add some more teams on the East Coast and keeping it more regional, because I mean, we made trips from here to Kansas City, from Kansas City to Vegas, from Vegas to Seattle. I mean, that for 15 guys on the road for 7 to 10 days.
And this is airfare, right? You're not driving to any of these places.
Airfare, hotel, meals.
The meals, that's all taken care of, right?
So now if you can cut that out and just say, okay, we'll go to Jersey and then we'll go to Carolina and Florida and back and stay on the East Coast and keep those costs down.
Put teams in Maryland and Delaware and on Long Island and maybe one in Maine, or
something a little more regional, and then in the playoffs meet in the middle and play the West Coast team, something like that. So, that's all something that is up to the league commissioner and how they're going to run the league. But I know Coach Rowland, and I know he's probably sitting somewhere right now thinking about it and planning it out and his next step. So. Like I said, I wish him nothing but the best, and I appreciate the opportunity this year. I had a blast. They got me out of retirement. They got me back in shape, and I played with a bunch of good guys. So
you can still shoot it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can still go. Last year at this time, I was just happy to be coming back into high level ball because I had been out for a little while, and so I got back into TBT, and then I got back into patroons, and now, I have a little different mindset, man. I'm in shape and I'm ready to go, and I can contribute. I'm not a 30-minute guy anymore. We got Jimmer for that, which is great. But I work hard and I can contribute, and I don't want a free ride on any team. If I didn't feel I can contribute, I just ask them to be an assistant. So I'll be ready, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And realistically, this team can win it all.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got this team, and you did this last year, so you know what you're going to be up against. Now you got Jimmer playing and this group, and a year under your belt, you know what to expect now. Legitimately, you could make a serious run to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, they gave us a 2 seed. I think they give everyone an experience level based on where all your guys have played and all that kind of stuff. And we have one of the highest experience levels on the team. We're a 2 seed. Obviously. Jimmer, everyone knows about, but we have Xavier Silas at the 2 guard, who's a complete animal. He played with the Celtics last year for a little while. In my mind, we have the best backcourt, in the tournament, and and just to leave out the other guys on our team is crazy. I mean, we're super, super talented. It's gonna come down to putting it together at the right time.
Who else? Throw some names. Who else is on this team?
Darrington Hobson. He was New Mexico. I think he was the player of the year in New Mexico. He played with the Warriors for a little while.
Abuo can play.
Yeah. He's a really strong wing, physical wing. Brandon Davies, Jimmer's teammate at BYU. I don't think we've added him yet. He just got done winning a championship overseas, so he's resting a little bit. And I think we're going to add him. Hopefully we'll add him. I'm not going to throw it out there, but there's another big name or huge name guy that we might add.
And then, huge name guy.
I can't.
I know you can't give us the name, but huge name guy we recognize from college hoops.
Yeah.
College.
Yeah. All right.
In the last 5 years.
Maybe a little.
Okay.
Okay, Duke fans would hate him. That's all I can.
All right. So he played for Carolina.
That's 100% right there.
Well, Duke fans hate a lot of people.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
true. Yeah.
But
Well, this is going to be exciting, though, and it's great to see you still playing at a high level, man. And you just don't put that ball down, do you? Huh?
I don't, man. To be honest with you, I don't know what I'm going to do when.
What are you going to do, EJ Gallup? Because
golf
the only time I ever bring up EJ Gallup is something to do with basketball constantly, and it's all really good. At some point, I guess you will go, all right. How about coaching?
I think when I get older and I can't play anymore, I want to coach or do something in that area. Like right now, like I help friends coach teams, and all I'm thinking is like, man, I just want to play these guys. And so as long as I'm healthy and as long as I'm playing, I'm going to play. And then I think there's always time for it down the road. It's so much fun for me to play with these younger guys. Like last night we played out in Utica, me and Joey Cremo and Shea Bermersky, TJ Sesky. We played against Mark Lyons and the Boeheim brothers, and it's like to be 36 and like still out there and doing it with these guys is so much fun. I don't even think about coaching because I'm having so much fun playing still.
All right, how about your thoughts on Cremo going to Villanova?
Oh man, I love it. For me, I'm a foothills guy. I'm a Section 2 guy, so Joey's always been my guy, and I know how hard he works. I know how great of a kid he is. Even when he was coming out of Scotia, like, oh, can he play at the Division I level? And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, how's it even a question? So obviously he proved all those people wrong. He killed it at Albany, and I think he's going to kill it at Villanova. I mean, he's just a guy, who at the end of the day doesn't say a word and is going to have 25 and 5. And I think he does it at all levels. I think he's going to do great at Villanova. I'm super excited for him. I know he's excited to play against that type of competition every night. And I think he leaves this weekend to go down there for the summer. And, we're all rooting for him. We're really excited for him. And he's a great kid.
Who won that game last night?
We won. We jumped out on them pretty early. They made a good run back. The Boeheim brothers can really play. The younger one's going to be really good. Actually, Coach Boeheim was there last night. So, we've been playing together a while now. We're actually missing Andrew Platek. He's in Carolina for the summer, so he can't play. And Joey's leaving, so we're losing him. We thought we might have Kevin Herter, and now all of a sudden the NBA's calling, so we don't have him.
You're losing the young guys.
Yeah, man. I don't have enough minutes in my body for this. So we're on the waiver wire right now looking for some guys. We'll find a couple.
EJ Gallup with us for just a few more minutes in studio here, and I got to get to Thursday because obviously Herter's got a big night. What's your thoughts on Kevin's game at the next level? Are you surprised that he is in this spot? I think a lot of people thought he would test the waters, but at the end of the day, go back to Maryland for his junior season.
Yeah, I think, just from listening to some interviews, I think that's what they were thinking also. That's what Kevin was thinking. But it's really you can see it in his game the last couple of years. He's like 6'7". You know what I mean? You're not talking about a 6'2" guy, 6'3" guy. He's a 6'7" guy who can play the point. He can shoot it. He can guard a couple different positions. Super smart kid. I mean, he doesn't break a sweat. I don't think he's breaking a sweat yet since he's been playing basketball. He just knows what he's doing. He knows the next play before it happens. Just being a local guy, I'm super happy for him, excited for him. Just wish him the best.
EJ, wish you the best, man. Good to see you in studio. As always, great stuff. I know you'll keep us updated. We'll be following you and Jimmer and the whole team, and go win that $2 million, man.
Sounds good, man. We're going to give it a shot.